Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Rice News analyst, Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Leila. Good morning, Tunde. Well, let's start with these day newspapers. The Oshiomhole saga all over the place. Now, the lead story. Oshiomhole fights back, gets Kanu court to put suspension on hold. Meets Buhari, he remains suspended, says APC Vice Chairman, Northeast. Conflicting court orders bizarre, says Senior Advocates of Nigeria. Now, other newspapers have the same lead story. The Punch newspaper, APC ESCO crisis, confusion as Kanu High Court upturns Oshiomhole's suspension. Embattled party chairman blames Minister Obaseki, other governors. Plaintiffs dismiss Kanu order, say ex-Edo governor remain suspended. Now, the Sun newspaper, Oshiomhole fights back. Kanu High Court quashes APC chair's suspension. Governors, ministers behind my ordeal, says ex-Edo governor. While the Vanguard newspaper, APC crisis latest, Oshiomhole rebounds as Kanu Court sets aside suspension, alleges 7 ministers, some governors, routine to oust him. Oshiomhole files 4 ground appeal to set aside his suspension, says his tenure will be determined by God, not man.
He just had to, didn't he? He just had to.
It was all going great
It was going great.
I added that those who hold meetings at night to discuss Adams Oshiomhole, that when day breaks, the forces of light will, expose their hypocrisy and intrigue and protect him. However,
Ruben, when do you politicians hold meetings? Is it not in the night?
It's always in the dead of
Is there
night.
anything?
well, he says Adams Oshiomhole says he holds his own meetings during daytime, not at night. However, I think that the chairman of the APC has been playing the victim. He went to see the president to discuss his travails with the president. He did not give the details of what he discussed with the president, but definitely the president, as a leader of the party, will have granted him audience and listened to him, and probably will also have offered some advice. But the details of that meeting were not disclosed. I said Adams Oshiomhole has been playing the victim because he's blamed virtually everybody else. One minister and some governors, and particularly Obaseki, and he tried to be defensive. And he also tried to explain the law in a manner that even some senior advocates of Nigeria will be shocked when he was trying to explain the hierarchy of courts and the subject of jurisdiction. But that's the thing about politicians. Every politician is a lawyer, and the only claim to competence in this regard is that they've been to court to attend a number of sessions. And you'll be shocked when some of them quote the law and tell you what procedure should be adopted.
Especially when they get favorable verdicts.
But however, the opinion out there is that, look, many politicians also, out of desperation, engage in forum shopping. And there are many judges who are also willing to get involved. But we'll gain clarity on this at the end of the day. What is important, as I said yesterday, is that Adams Oshiomhole, as chairman of the party, has an opportunity with this development to unite the party, to, pursue the option of reconciliation. But he also has the opportunity to do whatever he likes. So it's a choice between mending fences and allowing the party to implode, because it looks like the APC is thoroughly divided. Even his own national vice chairman from the north is not on his side. Many of the governors are not on his side. As at yesterday, the party had 2 acting national secretaries, right? Mm-hmm. So what will happen on Friday? Will it be Bulama, Waziri Bulama, that will be secretary, whom many members of the party say, they are not aware of his appointment, that he was unilaterally chosen by Adams Oshiomhole? Or will it be Gaidom? You remember yesterday, yes, we were quoting 2 different acting national secretaries of the party. So what is left, therefore, is for the leaders of the party and for the members also, to call the gladiators to order so that they do not, allow the party to implode. And as I said again yesterday, the APC needs to learn from the experience of the People's Democratic Party. Because once a political party begins to develop cracks, you don't know the end of it. If they want the party to remain and they want it to remain strong, then of course they will have to put aside their individual egos and allow the party to move forward. How they do that, we cannot dictate to them.
Because clearly the lessons have not been learned
Well,
from the Zamfara fiasco,
yes, if I was just
River
about
State.
going
We
there.
now have Edo and Ondo going to the polls in September and October.
Ruben is
We're
being
going to see more of the
futuristic.
same.
But the immediate
Yes.
is that the stage is being set for another Zamfara, another Rivers, in this case, because with the kind of scenario in Edo State now, I will not be surprised if by the time they are holding primaries,
Parallel
you will have parallel
Again,
primaries.
They haven't
And
learned anything.
with court decisions, I don't want to say they are shopping or procuring court judgments.
No, that's
but-
not what, I didn't say that.
No.
He's saying he doesn't want to say
I don't want to use the word procurement, but they are obtaining.
Don't say that.
They are obtaining court judgments left,
No,
right,
don't
and
impugn
center.
the integrity of the courts. Let's address the issues
Okay,
before
no, but
us.
this was how the Zamfara scenario was also set.
Yes.
A court in Sokoto giving one verdict, another court in Abuja giving its own verdict. At the end of the day, they all met at the appeal court, at the Supreme Court, and by the time the Supreme Court made its pronouncement, APC was clearly out of the ballot paper.
It's looking
So they are
the same
setting
now.
that kind of stage again.
Yeah.
And like you said, whether Adams or Shomole will be able to reconcile the party, not whether he's willing, will he be able? And I doubt with the way he's
might be too late.
By the way he's posturing, I doubt whether he's in a mood to reconcile the party.
He's not sounding conciliatory
Yes.
at all.
Well,
He's
I think
sounding,
to
like you
Adams-
said, there's a lot of self-victimization going on.
To Adams Oshomole, I think he should also begin to think of his legacy as party leader, as a national chairman. Because definitely there is no way he can remain as national chairman forever. Nobody stays as national chairman of a political party permanently. It's not a chieftaincy title. It's an opportunity to serve. So he needs to worry about his legacy and how his tenure is remembered. And that's why I think he needs to adopt a conciliatory tone.
If he's capable of doing
If
that.
he's capable, that's the thing. He doesn't seem
Well, the Nation newspaper, well, the way they are reporting this story, quoting Oshomole again, they are after me because of 2023, says Oshomole. And he's saying that those fighting me just feel that if they cannot give me orders, then they must do everything to embarrass my person. They are the ones who will plot how do we get rid of him, because they want to be president in 2023, even when their hold on their state at the moment is doubtful. Well, well, let's look at other stories. The Nigerian Tribune, well, APC crisis gets messier, the lead story, but underneath the photograph, China approves arthritis drug for coronavirus complications. IMF set aside $50 billion to help member nations. 39 quarantine showed no symptoms. Ogun government. COVID-19 forced me to change my birthday program. Obasanjo, 18 suspected cases identified so far. Why are you laughing? Your Obasanjo bits?
nothing. I'm just
No, you know,
hysterical views.
we get it. It's a private joke.
Okay.
Inside baseball
Yes.
on television.
Well, that's another, the approval of arthritis drug for coronavirus complications.
That's good to
coming
know.
from China. It's like,
Well, but maybe, except we know the details.
The details, yeah.
Because there have been all kinds of speculations about cure for coronavirus. Yesterday, Professor Adeyeye told us that, there was some
Chloroquine.
reference to chloroquine.
Chloroquine, yes.
And now arthritis drugs. I think in Ghana, one pastor has come up with a coronavirus anointing oil. So except we're sure, I don't think we should amplify it.
clearly the Ghana own, that is just one of
You have not heard of coronavirus anointing oil?
No, but of course it's one of those fake pastors.
Yes, it's 200 cedis, Ghanaian cedis.
Milking the people's ignorance.
But it's good that the IMF, the World Bank,
Yes.
both institutions are providing support, and technical assistance. There's also a lot of, emphasis on the part of the World Bank and IMF about providing technical assistance through the International Finance Corporation. And we hope that those countries, particularly African countries, that will be able to access the money, the assistance, the financial and technical assistance will be used for the exact purpose.
Deployed up.
Otherwise, the typical African story.
Well, the Guardian newspaper, uproar as Senate approves Buhari's $22.7 billion loan request. PDP, right groups, others condemn approval. OPS, Organized Private Sector, expresses worry over nation's ability to repay. Lawmakers okay 346.3 billion naira NDDC 2019 budget. Now, this loan request, well, I think Mustafa Chikobi put it in the right context. When you have majority in the House, you can approve anything. And this Senate gave the assurance to the president that all requests from him will get positive consideration. And we are saying that.
No, not the Senate president.
The Senate president?
Yes, it was the one that gave the assurance.
Okay. But we are seeing that being played out.
In any case, that was during that conversation between the Senate president and Minority Leader Eyinaya Baribe. The Senate president said, look, the approval is in the interest of the Nigerian people, that the Nigerian people will benefit. But part of the concern by the PDP is that some of the projects outlined under infrastructure for states, they said they wanted to discuss some of those items. I don't know why it is at plenary at the last minute that they wanted that discussion, and whether or not the Senate Committee on Public Debts was made up largely of APC members. I don't imagine that will be the case. There must have been PDP members within that Senate committee that now brought the two-line approval to the two-paragraph approval to the plenary. Now, what are those items that are there? Mambila, railway projects, coastal railway highway, and then Lagos-Ibadan expressway. What else is there? Then some projects for some states. Maybe that's what the PDP is concerned about, because the states that are also covered include Kogi, Kaduna, the FCT, and one other state that I don't immediately remember.
All APC states.
All APC states. Maybe, maybe that's a concern of the PDP. But as to the value of those projects in water, healthcare, education, railway construction, I think that they are valuable projects. What we expect is that when we get that loan, the loans should be used for the exact purpose, particularly at the state levels.
Okay, if we just look at the foreign newspaper, The Times of UK, first UK death from coronavirus as toll rises. Elderly woman had contact with no known case. Yeah, a British woman, the first, 75 years old. They were doing routine check on patients with pneumonia, and she was found to have tested positive for the virus, and she died shortly. But the situation in the UK becoming overwhelming. The Daily Telegraph, patients told to stay home if they get mild virus because bed spaces are overstretched right now. Yeah. So that's the situation in the UK. And I'm sure we'll continue to hear about this.
The only thing to add is that the first, reported death is that of a 70-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And that's consistent with previous information, that older people, are more vulnerable than younger people.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni.